Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a model released at Baselworld 2017, the fixed bezel Tudor Heritage Black Bay 41 in stainless steel. You can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it's a 41 millimeter Black Bay case, but without the diving kit. It's slimmer too. Using an ETA caliber 2824 with a 38-hour power reserve, it is considerably slimmer than the Tudor in-house calibers. How slim, you ask? Well, how about 11 millimeters? This one is cuffable. Remember, a Rolex Daytona is about 12.2, 12.3 millimeters thick, so this is a very slim watch by modern Tudor standards. Now, lug to lug, it's a big watch. Make no mistake, 50.1 millimeters across the wrist is significant. Nevertheless, because of the shape of the lugs, this is a watch that I can endorse for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. To give scale, my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see that it sits nicely across the wrist, 50.1 millimeters. The spacing between the lugs is 22 millimeters. So while it's a vintage inflected watch, being 41 millimeters with that huge lug spacing means it does read as modern and stanced as a contemporary watch would. Pop open the clasp. Maybe we'll pop the clasp off the strap and show the strap to better effect. Now, of course, the watch is 150 meters water resistant, but you're going to want to put it on an accessory 22 millimeter strap to do that. Fitted standard is a contrasting stitch calfskin strap with a folded profile on its edge. Actually, it's a sheer profile, my mistake. And you can see the layers of construction. It's sheer, and on the underside, it's actually a suede material that has a wonderful feel against the wrist. A timepiece that is comfortable and good looking. It's also surprisingly refined, as you'll find inside the clasp, which is a clamshell style lock, and by the way, note that the clasp itself is the Tudor Shield logo. You have not one, not two, but 4 ceramic pin snaps. You can see them external to the clasp body and internal to the clasp body. They are spring-loaded and they are designed so that the clasp itself can never wear them down. So the tolerances of the closure will remain consistent over the years. The attention to detail is much appreciated. And as you can see, it's simply a handsome, double-finished satin and polished clasp. I like that you don't get a pin buckle here. You get a deployant clasp. It feels upscale. It feels worthy. It's something you expect on a Rolex or a Tudor. Now you can see the case itself is relatively simple. On its side, you can see that it is a high polished case, and you can see this one's still slightly dressed, so it doesn't have the gleam it would if denuded entirely. There's a lovely vintage-inspired bevel on the flank of the lugs. This has long since left the worlds of Rolex, but there was a time when Rolex and Tudor shared cases, and for the sports watches, you would see the same hand-finished bevel on both. The Tudor Rose is present on the crown, the pre-1968 logo, and you can see the post-1968 Tudor Shield on the dial. There's also an anodized black cover for the stem tube. It's not the stem tube properly, but you can see there is a little bit of a neck style in anodized black that provides a buffer between the crown and the case, as well as a little bit of visual flair. The bezel is flat and conical, and the dial is matte and blue. It's a lovely dial. It features applique indices, another upscale touch on a watch at a price point where you might expect a printed dial. There's a chapter ring outboard with lovely vintage form, and you can see inboard a reference to the late 60s to mid 1970s Tudor Submariner snowflakes in the form of the seconds and the hour hand, and there's a wonderful barrel-shaped self-winding that actually traces the arc of the lower dial. Also, note how little printing there is on this dial. Rolex, please, let the mothership take notice. Turn it all over. Underneath the case back, you have an ETA 28242. 28.8 beat rate, 25 joules, stop seconds, 38-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding, so it doesn't have much rotor wobble or sound to it. All of this water resistant thanks to the screwed-in case back and the screw-down crown to 150 meters. So this is a lovely and versatile Tudor sports watch. If you don't need the diving features of a Black Bay or a Pelagos, don't pay for them. Get a versatile stainless steel all-arounder that can swim, that can loom, that can do it all. This is a great only watch candidate. See it and make it your only watch or your next watch on the Watchbox. And we're back with the Tudor Heritage Black Bay 41. You can see robustly loomed by night, including the seconds hand.